I'm Alex DiNovo, president of DNO Produce here in Columbus, Ohio, and a member of the United Fresh Start Foundation Board of Trustees. Today I'm speaking with Casey Thompson, vice president at the YMCA of Lansing in Michigan, and one of the recipients of the foundation's Community Innovation Grants, which they received earlier this year prior to the pandemic. Now, this grant was focused on transitioning the food offerings available at local, widely visited corner store so the community could more easily purchase fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as learn recipes and other tips for incorporating fresh produce into their diets. So Casey, it's great to have you with us. Can you share a little bit about the YMCA's philosophy as it relates to supporting members of your community with healthy food and fresh produce?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Alex. This grant has just meant a ton to us here in Lansing. We really believe in getting food access to everybody, but more importantly, we want to provide fresh produce because we don't want to feed kids today only to give them a chronic disease for tomorrow. And so getting that access to very different pockets in our community who lack that need is critically important to us. And this grant allowed us to do that. We were able to isolate a neighborhood where we could have a corner store, and we could create access points by giving them fake money, which we call our Y bucks, to where they can go shopping and they can go ahead and purchase their own fresh fruits and vegetables. Now, underneath this grant, we did have to pivot a little. Underneath the pandemic, how we originally thought we could roll this out, we had to change because we wanted to do it in a very safe way. And so we've been able to change how we deliver that produce, not only through just the pure access piece, but we've created QR codes to give that educational piece on what is that piece of produce, how do you use it, and what are some great recipes that then you can then use within your home to obviously make food using produce.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds really great. So what are some of the initiatives that the YMCA has been involved with as it relates to getting fresh produce to children and families in your community?
Well, we have a thriving feeding program. And as you can imagine, we would love it if we lived in a community where access to produce and food wasn't an issue. Unfortunately, in Lansing, Michigan, that's not the case. And so for us, we have a lot of nutrition information programs. We do a lot of demonstrations, a lot of taste sessions with our kids. We bundle in the ability to do education with our schools. So doing live farmers markets where, again, kids have that fake money, which we like to call Y bucks, and they can shop for themselves. And then not only do they get to take that home, but we give them information to share with their families about the food that they've chosen to take home. And so bundling in that education piece and access with produce is critically important. We not only run a year-round feeding program, but during the pandemic, we've provided just over 210,000 meals. And those meals are great, but what's more important to us is that we do have those fresh components to every meal that the kids not only can eat on site with us, but then they also get to take home.
Wow, fantastic. That really sounds awesome. So the foundation was very pleased to support your Making Produce Popular project and how you're working with a local store to make fresh produce more readily available and really empowering consumer selections. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Absolutely. So early on, we recognized that the makeup of this very specific neighborhood we targeted was different. So the fruits and vegetables they were eating, consuming, choosing were different. So we did a survey and asked the clients, what do you want within the store? What are you willing to purchase? And so learning from the feedback that they provided, we not only try to identify and provide that in the store, but we also give them other options in hopes that they'll try new produce. So the education component is key to us because we don't just want to put produce on a shelf. We want to educate people how to use it, what are the best ways to taste it. And so for us, it was through that QR code. Underneath the pandemic, again, the pivot is not our normal nutrition lessons that we would do with families. So we really had to challenge ourselves. How do you teach people about the food they're eating and the benefits of it when you don't get to work with them face to face and hold traditional classes? So we've been able to make that change and do that through QR codes and just thinking differently about how do we use virtual resources to start to educate our families and our kids.
Wow. Thank you so much, Casey. It's really incredible what you guys are achieving in Lansing. The YMCA is doing great work, and the Fresh Start Foundation is very proud to support these important efforts. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And I got to say that you guys are a pivotal partner for us. And we are literally serving more families and providing access, making our population definitely healthier by being able to provide this produce. So thank you a ton for granting us the dollars to do this program.